Hello everyone and welcome to ESL's Go4SC2 number 49 final, sponsored by SteelSeries. I'm your caster Kessel, and right now I am powered up with orange juice, the stuff that will keep pirates from having scurvy. Let me take a drink real quick. That's good orange juice. So this is going to be game 2 between DarkForce, who's going to be spawning as the blue Zerg at the bottom, and he's going to be playing against Tarson, who's going to be spawning as the red Terran at the top. And this is going to be on xel'naga Caverns. If you missed game 1, go watch it. It was a relatively good game from both players. Tarson overwhelming DarkForce over here, going too baneling heavy and just paying for it in the end. Tarson with a lot of Marines and siege tanks just taking out all the banelings and mutalisks that DarkForce throws at Tarson. So game 2 on xel'naga Caverns, not watchtowers. I keep saying that because I'm an idiot, but I'm gonna go back to casting because I hope to be less of an idiot as I cast more and more games. Tarson's starting to block off over here with his barracks and supply depot, and he is continuing to build SCVs. Meanwhile, DarkForce looks like he is going to go that early hatchery once again, also sending out a single drone to scout out Tarson, at the same time sending out an SCV to meet this drone or cross paths at least. And that SCV is going to be easily spied out, that early natural expansion coming from DarkForce. And DarkForce's barracks is almost done. He is getting that refinery once again. DarkForce also getting the spawning pool in the corner, and it looks like that SCV actually is going to... Oh, will he... Did he miss that? Hold on. Oh no, he saw it. He saw that expansion, so he is going to know that DarkForce has an expansion early on once again, and Tarson is going to probably respond in kind with that factory build, factory starport build with Hellions. Tarson finishing his block off with another supply depot, and he is starting to move out a single Marine. Meanwhile, an Overlord flying all over the place trying to get inside Tarson's base, and Tarson is going to be... No, he actually isn't going to be able to spot this Overlord. Instead, Tarson is moving his single Marine over to try and harass, I guess, DarkForce over here. DarkForce getting a couple lings as well. That spawning pool is out, and Tarson just moving a couple Marines over to try and harass DarkForce. But DarkForce is getting at least 2 lings, but that's still not going to be enough to push away those Marines. A couple queens being built out as well, and the metabolic boost being started. The factory getting built by Tarson, so we're going to probably see a relatively similar build than we saw the last game. I mean, if it's not broke, why fix it? And those Marines are just walking all over the place. I'm just kind of wondering what's going on over here. I don't know if Tarson is expecting some weird build coming from DarkForce, but DarkForce is going pretty standard actually. Same build he went last time. And Tarson also going the same build as he went last time, getting a couple Hellions, getting the starport. And I'm actually kind of surprised. I expected more, I don't know, I expected more roaches now. But I guess players are still not comfortable with those roaches. I mean, they do have that extra range now, but still no roaches. I actually thought of an amazing build, a Queen Roach build that I want to try out. But that, I don't know if that'll work out. Tarson already starting to move out his Hellions and Marines. And will he be able to tag out that Queen? That Queen trying to get away, but ooh, almost getting taken out. That SCV coming in to attack as well. And just not, DarkForce just doesn't have enough lings right now. That early push is going to probably really hurt DarkForce, but got the speed just in time, taking out one of the Hellions over here. But those lings are going to get melted away by those Marines. But DarkForce does have another Queen out, and he's continuing to build Queens and lings. Banshee coming out for Tarson, and he is also getting a command center as well, and Hellions are continuing to be built, as well as a bunker and a couple of Marines. Now there is a huge stream of DarkForce's lings starting to come up over here, but that bunker, will it be done in time? I think it'll be okay because this Hellions... Oh, but the Hellions are going to get separated from the other ones. The Lings are trying to run back over here to find those Hellions. But the Hellions are going a different route, but they're going to back up once again. DarkForce continuing to saturate his natural. He is getting that lair. And hopefully he'll have a different... Oh, a Roach Warren, finally. I wanted to see Roach Warrens coming out for Zerd. DarkForce deciding that he isn't going to deal with Tarson's Hellions and getting a couple Roaches. He is moving a lot of Lings all over the place, and he is getting the Banshee over here. Tarson has a Banshee in the skies, and he is trying to get this into a position where he won't be spotted until the very last second. But that Overlord is watching very carefully over DarkForce's base, and I believe Tarson is going to get spotted by that Overlord. And he is, ooh, he does get spotted, and there is a Queen right there just ready to attack this Banshee. The Banshee is going to try and take out a couple drones, but those Queens are already starting their attack on that Banshee, and it almost gets taken out. And one of the drones also almost gets taken out, but luckily those Queens are here to save her. And the Banshee actually does go down. Tarson, though, taking his chance, getting his units moved over to, or a couple of Harvesters over at his natural, and taking out one of the Overlords. But DarkForce is now starting to move his Lings in, and there are a lot of Lings that are going to go in and try and take out the Siege Tank, and the Siege Tank does go down. The SCV is completely blocking off the Lings over here. The hell, they're going to... Oh, DarkForce manages to take out all those Lings, all those Hellions. There's still a bunker over here, but it's starting to burn down. And, oh, will those Lings be able to get in? Oh, man, the Siege Tank's barely blocking off the forces over here. But, oh, the Siege Tank is almost getting taken out, but what a nice micro over there. Pulling that Siege Tank into that medevac, and Tarson managed to hold down and take out all those Lings. Spire actually getting built by DarkForce, but no Roaches coming out. I guess DarkForce is trying to keep his options open. Meanwhile, Tarson continuing to build a lot of Marines, going a very similar build he went last time, getting 2 barracks. One barracks with a reactor and another with a tech lab, and there are 2 barracks with reactors right now. So he's going to go relatively Marine heavy and use the tech lab for research like stim pack and combat shields. Siege mode hasn't been researched yet, which is kind of surprising, but I guess Tarson isn't too worried about yeeting the Siege Tank right now. He has gotten both his gas over at his main. He is getting his first gas at his natural. A couple mutas over here, and ooh, Tarson getting a drop over here with his medevac, and those Marines are gonna get completely taken out. No, they're not actually staying in the corner, allowing them not to get completely surrounded, and the Marines getting dropped out, trying to take out a couple of this Mutalisk, and the Lings are starting to come in and chase down those Marines. And will those medevac go down? Oh, those medevacs are gonna go down, and those Marines are gonna get taken out by those Lings. This medevac trying to get away, but they're not as fast as they were before in 1.1.1. And I believe, yeah, that medevac is gonna get taken out. But it looks like a large force coming from Tarson, Marines and Siege Tanks, but the Siege mode isn't done yet. So now would be a good time for DarkForce just to run in. Siege mode is almost done. Will he have enough chance? The Lings are running in as fast as possible, trying to take out those Marines. The Marines trying to kite themselves away from those Lings, but they're going to get completely taken out. Siege mode is done. And will Tarson be able to get those Siege mode up? Ooh, the Marines are getting taken out. Both Siege Tanks get taken out, and now Tarson is forced to back up. More Lings getting built. Centrifugal hooks being researched out of the Bangling's nest, and it looks like no more mutas getting built, but he is getting a third base, or yes, a third base over here at the low ground. He's also killing off the rocks to the high yield to expand once again, and Tarson just building up his forces once again, getting a siege tank, getting a lot of Marines because it worked last time, so why not this time? Combat shields being researched, and stim has been finished already. More medevacs being built as well, and the rocks getting killed over here towards the third base as well. Those rocks at the high yield are going to go down, and both players content to macro up, getting a couple upgrades and getting ready for any attacks. A missile turret actually going up in a couple places for Tarson. and both players content to just macro up, sitting there with his Marines and his siege tanks. A lot of Zerglings just sitting there, killing rocks and killing time, I guess. One of the Banelings actually trying to take out this rock, but it's not going to be very successful. DarkForce also getting a hatchery at the high yield, and a couple mutas over here trying to fly and figure out what he wants to do. Trying to do a bit of a scouting duty, but the Marines are trying to move up back up to the ramp. More missile turrets getting built, but I think this is going to be a very different game from last time. He isn't focusing on Mulus this time, only getting 4, and he's getting that infestation pit. So I'm going to assume that he's either going to go Ultralisk or go Infestors. And Infestors are actually amazing in combination with Banelings. And DarkForce is getting a lot of Banelings, so Infestors would be a good idea. But just remember, guys, those Banelings do cost some gas, and that more Banelings you build, the less Infestors you can actually build. A lot of Creep Tormers getting built all over the place, and DarkForce just trying to macro up, getting a couple more bases. Meanwhile, Tarson is just sitting there, I guess trying to mine and get sufficient force out. He does have 5 barracks, and he's getting another factory, so he looks like more siege tanks are in Tarson's agenda. And out of the infestation pit, the pathogen glands are being researched, so that extra energy is coming out, and burrow being researched as well out of one of the hatcheries. 2 evolution chambers are getting pumped out as well, so he can get a couple upgrades for his ground forces. And now the Mulists are just kind of flying over the place with the Overlords trying to scout out. And Tarson now has a lot of Marines, and I'm gonna have to take another drink of that good old OJ before another battle starts up. And both players content to just stand around. The Mutalisks are content to just hover over this area to make sure Tarson doesn't expand. And Tarson actually getting one of these SCVs over here, but there are a couple lings here to stop this SCV, and it's going to get taken out. So Tarson is now going to be operating on 2 bases for a while. He's starting to get mined out of his main, and he has a lot of SCVs just oversaturating this natural. And Tarson better start moving out, which is exactly what he's doing. But are there any Infestors on the field yet? There are 3 getting morphed out right now, as well as a lot of lings. DarkForce now pushing out his forces, well, and those lings are going to be able to get in there, but those Banelings are going to get completely annihilated, unable to keep up with those Marines. But those siege tanks are going to get taken out. At least a couple of those. Oh man, all the siege tanks actually do get taken out, but the Mulists do get evaporated as well. But there are still a large force of Marines and a lot of medevacs as well, and he's stemming up to move them forward and try to take out as many of these units as possible. Those Infestors aren't going to be able to... Oh, Fun Growth does manage to go down, and now those Marines have nowhere to go. And oh man, those Banelings do a massive damage to those units. Tarson trying to micro them and try and take out those Infestors, and 2 of them do go down, but there are still 1 left. Siege tanks trying to come up here and try and defend. And those Marines are going to be completely taken out by those lings. More Marines getting dropped down, but they're going to get taken out. And now Tarson has good control of the field. Siege tanks are getting just mowed down left and right as they come in, and DarkForce is just moving them in slowly and surely. And whoa, what the heck happened here? Whoa, actually, let's go back to that real quick. I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, a couple Banelings actually got moved in. Oh, DarkForce had a couple Zerglings over here, and let's see, how did that... Oh, it just burned down. Tarson wasn't paying any attention, and I guess that command center just burned down. Those lings kind of just sat there, and while this battle was occurring, DarkForce managed to get a couple lings in here as well and managed to take out that command center. None of the SCVs are noticing that this command center was burning down, and nothing was getting... It wasn't getting repaired or anything. Tarson too busy with his micro over here, and then the lings came in here and took out most of these SCVs, and that command center probably got taken out as well by those lings. And yeah, so Tarson getting multiple attacks in, and then Tarson trying to save it, but it actually burned down in the skies. So I apologize for missing that, but I went back just for you guys because I love my viewers so much. So DarkForce actually taking game 2 away from Tarson. So this is going 1-1 so far. So we'll see what's in store in game 3. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to youtube.com/KesselGamer. That's KESL Gamer. And I will see you guys next time. Kessel signing out.